Hello and welcome to Empowering Voices. My name is Morris Adams, your host for an amazing program. Empowering Voices is a special program where we bring what's going on in your neighborhood into your living room. I like to bring people who are going to add something to your life. And today we're going to meet someone who I believe is going to change some of the concepts that you have or some of the thoughts that you have about things that you believe you know about. I'm going to bring someone into your living room today. And let me say it this way. I like to bring people into your neighborhood that once you meet them, they become your friends for life. Today we have one such person. My special guest is Jasmyne Randolph. Jasmyne has a pocket of information and a special set of talents that I think you'll find amazing. Jasmyne, say hello to our audience.
Hello, everyone.
Could you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
As he said, my name is Jasmyne. My name is Jasmyne Diana Randolph. I am 31 years old. I'm currently a behavior analysis. I'm in the process of sitting for the board so I can be board certified behavior analysis. I have played collegiate basketball in Oklahoma. It's called Langston University. It's a HBCU. I've been playing since I was about 7 or 8 years old. And I coach. I've been coaching for the last 3 years. And I actually started coaching at my first, my high school. So my high school is called Bloomington High School that I went to. And so I'm now coaching there. I'm the head JV coach.
Wow, so 31 years old and you're already producing and doing things and you're helping other people.
Yes.
It sounds like a lot of your life has been before other people and helping other people. Coaches, that's what they do.
Yes.
Now, tell me about this program that you've started or that you've created. Tell me about, first, give us the name of it.
Okay, so it's called UDID, and it stands for Unique Differences in Development. And so for me, there's two meanings. One of the meanings is for individuals who have special needs. And for me, it was just a better way to, because some parents don't like to say special needs or to say, there's a plethora of names to say. So in my way of saying unique, they're uniquely different. That's one way. And then the other is because my first program is basketball. So we uniquely find different ways to help the kids develop. And there's different ways for them to learn. So we figure out which way is best for them. And we help them develop it and feel that they can still reach the goal, the main goal.
Now, we're going to go into that a little bit, but I want to go back. You said the name of your program is UDID?
Yes.
Spell that for us.
So it's UDID.
Now, the first time I heard it, it went so smooth and so fast. I said, did I hear what she said? Or did I hear what I thought? So UDID is the name of the program.
Yes.
And then again, give us the quality of that name. Just tell us a little bit more about it, and then we're going to go into what you do.
So the acronym, I wanted it to be based around you did it, because that is the whole concept of the program. It's no matter how long it took, how hard it was, you still figure out a way to say that you did it. So again, back to still, progression. It can take somebody a long time, and it can't take some people just 1 or 2 steps, but you're still achieving, you're still able to say that I did it.
So the goal is for the person to accomplish something.
Correct.
Not to stay in the starting box, not to get left in the progression, but to actually get to a finished product where you did it, where we accomplished something. Now, tell us how you help in that process.
So if we're speaking on, like I said, basketball is my first program to help them say that you did it. So let's just say there's a kid who, agility. So let's say jumping rope. The first process is just to help them be able to sit in a squat That's one. If he doesn't know how to, and I have one kid who does not know how to jump. So that's, we're working on their gross motor. So we're doing a squat, we sit down, and then eventually our next step is to try to bounce up. If he can't bounce up, then we work on that, multiple trials, and then eventually he gets to that point. To a point where then now he is jumping. Then we figure out how he can jump over just the rope without having to do that movement yet. Then we teach this movement without the jump rope. And then we try to put both of the steps together, this movement and jumping, again, still without the jump rope. So there's kids who can do it and it doesn't take time, but there are kids who cannot do it as of yet. And my quality is helping break it down into multiple steps to the point where you did achieve it.
I like this. So what you're saying is you're breaking it down into doable qualities so a person can get to the point where they can do something. And when they put all these little components together, they actually get to the point where they did something that they wanted to accomplish.
Right. Yes.
Now, the amazing thing about this, so often you hear, you'll never succeed, you'll never go, there's so many naysayers. I was speaking with a gentleman last night that had a person spoke over his life. It was actually a teacher spoke over his life and said that he wouldn't do or wouldn't accomplish the thing that he wanted to. He actually he's a store manager. He actually became a store manager, or he actually became a successful person. And he said when he was learning math, he couldn't conceptualize it with the numbers. But when they explained it to him, it opened up the whole world to him. And then he was able to take off and soar. So I'm saying, this sounds like what you're doing.
Yes. Yes,
wow.
It does.
Who created this program?
Myself.
You created this program. How did you get to the point where you said, this is something that is missing in society? I need to put it together so that so many people in society who are missing out can have something. How did you get to that point where you could see and you did it?
So again, like I said, I've been playing basketball since I was about 7 or 8 years old. I was always into some type of sport. So competing is something that I love to do. And then for behavioral health, I've been working with kids and adults for about 10 years when it comes to behaviors. But for just the last 8 years, I've been working with kids who have special needs. So with me loving basketball, and I love kids, when I was in high school, the kids who had special needs kind of like scared me in a way, it was kind of uncomfortable. However, once I came into the field, my first year, a couple months in, I don't know, I just love them. So I'm just in a space where there's so many kids out there who we call them neurotypical, which is ourselves, that we have resources for. So the kids who have special needs, there's not really that many resources. And so I have not seen, other than the Special Olympics, I have not seen special kids and adults who have special needs and basketball incorporated in the same. So I just put the things that I love together.
Now, I got to ask you 3 questions here. I'm going to try to slow them down because they just rushed in. And one of them is, where do you locate the kids, or do they locate you? And how does that happen?
So it could be a mixture of both. So I have a website, I have social media. I'm also work for an ABA company where, there's clients there. I have just became a vendor for an Inland Regional Center. So if they are, I believe it's IEHP, if they have IEHP insurance, then they'll be able to contact to let me know that they have kids there that are interested, or vice versa. I can contact them to see if there's any kids that are interested in my services. I'll go around to schools. I have, flyers. So it's a mixture of both.
So you do contact schools and you do let people know that you exist.
Right.
So this is good. Now, this is the part that if you can, please make me know and I like to say it this way, make me know it in such a way where if I weren't doing something, I might want to join you. Your motivation, what motivated you to get in and stay in and develop yourself to where you're developing other people? What's your motivation?
It was hard for me to learn certain things when I was playing basketball. So let's say, for example, plays. And I had a few coaches who I was a, great talent. But I still had challenging ways. I needed help. And so they inspired me, because if it wasn't for their help, their patience, their guidance, their support, I wouldn't have become successful. And so I want to be able to make sure that I'm an advocate of what I was taught, which is to help, in that area. Everybody learns differently. You can still be amazing, you still be great, you can still be successful, but we all have different learning curves. So my coaches is what helped motivate. And didn't even know that was a seed that was planted up until, years down the line, that, like I'm actually doing what was taught with me.
Now, you said another thing that I think is fantastic. You said you were somewhat afraid of people who were different than you. And at this point, you're loving them, you're embracing them. Yeah. What melted that fear away? What was it?
That's a good question. I would say I got to know them, and to know that we're all the same, and just have a simple conversation with them. They're very intelligent, extremely smart. So that's what helped. And then I really love kids. So I saw past and it's not all kids who have special needs that I was afraid of. It was just ones who had different mannerisms. They played differently. Also ones who had you can tell that they had some type of aggression. So that is some things that in a way kind of like made me timid. But now, like I said, the first couple months, I learned, and I enjoy and I have fun with them.
Wow. Now I got to say this to you, and so I can get to another question here. My brother, Dr. Adams, was making a statement one day, and we were talking about one of the students that was in my class, and he made the statement, "Oh, that person is they're a visual learner." And I was, a visual learner? And he said, yeah, he said, well, some people are visual learners and some people are audio learners. And that was, now I've been in school for higher learning for over 20 years. That was the first that I'd understood that there was a difference in the way people learn. Now, your program is actually identifying that and making it happen. You're identifying, well, tell us about special needs and then what you do. Just tell us what you do. Tell us.
So we work with cerebral palsy, autism, Down syndrome, all kids who have, or adults who have special needs. But the main clients that I have as of now is kids who have autism and Down syndrome. And so, but I take any child or adult who has special needs, and I work with them specifically in where they are.
Now, here's the question, and that's, and believe me, my heart is with your program. So when I ask this question, I'm asking it so that you can answer it. Can you tell our audience why people that have special needs should have their needs met?
Good question. And this is one thing that is like the root, the foundation, is I want to make sure that there's a highlight on kids and adults who have special needs. They may, learn differently. However, big exclamation point. They're just as important. They're extremely important. It takes time to do some things. However, they're human, and they are deserving. They need to be loved, and probably loved even more than, anybody else, because just because they're born that way does not mean that they should get less than what they deserve or less than anyone else. They deserve just like what we get.
I like this.
Thank you.
Question. There are so many, I want to say, I don't want to say self-help program. What do we call, I would call, there are so many organizations out there that are designed to help people with special needs. How would I be able to identify yours from another one? And what would you say is the difference in your organization and what other people are doing? Because right now I'm hearing a lot of people are dealing with special needs, but each program is different. How would I know your program from theirs?
So the difference between mine, or what I can say that is
What you do. Mm-hmm.
Have experience. I do have my master's degree in applied behavioral health. So if there is a child, one of your kids have special needs, and they have behaviors, I would be able to manage, have antecedent strategies, consequence strategies on how to navigate throughout the behavior through the art therapy, through the basketball program. That is one way. With the experience, the education, and also, like I said, me having at least 15 years of basketball experience under my belt. So it's coming from experience, and I believe in all aspects and avenues.
Mm-hmm. So now here, I'm again, I appreciate everything you said, and I'm trying to, I heard us speak about the children or the people who have the needs. What about the parents who have the children? Where do they come in? How does this work? What do you do for them?
Great question. I am in a process of, just for example, I know that it's very stressful for parents. One is just trusting someone else with their child, but two, it's the certain resources around. It may be it's not, from my knowledge, it's not really that many resources out there for kids who have special needs. So for the parents, I have found that with their feedback is kind of like a stress reliever, because they want it to be inclusive. They want their child to feel normal. They want them to be normal, to do normal things. Yes. So that's how I do believe that I am helpful for the parents, is because, some doctors, which, I'm not a doctor, not in that field, but sometimes they may give a diagnosis about their child, what they will not be able to accomplish, what they can and can't do. And I have kids who, one child that they said that she's not going to walk. She's now walking. So I just want to help the parents with their kid and break the barriers. And, I feel like that would be, like I said, stress reliever, and, just bring joy and happiness for them. Yeah.
I'm going back to another area where you spoke on, and I'm bringing this out because I want to help somebody, and I believe you do too. And I'll bring it out this way. My friend who had nieces and nephews that were deaf, they couldn't speak. And in order for me to come into the household and not consider them strange, as you said earlier, you said, oh, they were different. In order for me not to consider them strange or to have social contact with them, I had to learn sign language.
Right.
And I'm thinking there's so many people who have someone with special needs in the house, and they have other people who come over who do not have special needs and often don't have training or understanding. And so that's one of the other areas that, if it could be bridged, it will help the people who have special needs. They would help them in their socialization, because now they're not being treated as different or being looked at as different. Right. Yeah. Right. So I think that would be a great bridge. What I'd like to do is to know, how could someone get a hold of you? How could they see more of your program, what you do? How could someone get a hold of you?
So there's 3 ways, or there's multiple ways, but I have a website, and it's udidacademy.org. You are able to email me at udidsportsacademy@gmail.com.
Could you describe your goals going forth? What would you like to do with this program, and how would you like it to work?
So as of now, how it's just sports, it's just basketball. I want a sports academy. So I want it to be multiple sports, but also want it to be educational wise as well. I want to have a one-stop shop. So that includes social skill programs, that includes daycare, that has indoor playground, sensory. I want a lot of things that is not created as of yet in Southern California. But I also want to make sure that it goes global. So I want the kids, and we're speaking sports, I want the kids to be able to be on a basketball team. And I'm saying basketball because I love basketball, but for all the sports, I want them to have a team, not just train one-on-one. I want it to be like it's, they're normal. They learn differently, but they're normal to me and should be for everyone else. And I just want it to have normalization for the parents. That's the goal. I want it to be inclusive.
Okay. Now, I want you to know that everything you saw, everything you see today, every house, every building started in somebody's mind first.
Yeah.
And once they spoke it, that was the beginning of it. You just spoke what you want. That's the beginning of getting what you want. Somebody out there is going to hear you and say, I need to partner with this young lady. She's got a dream that I have, and we're going to make it happen. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for coming into the living rooms. Thank you for speaking to everyone and letting them know that special needs are special, and that no one has to be left behind. Everyone can have a did moment. Everyone can, you did. Thank you.
Hey.